Hi everyone. As most of you know, my name is Ashley. I want to thank you all for letting me come in and talk to you today. For my persuasion speech, which I'm giving, I'm going to be talking about the importance of car seat safety. And I assume some of you are parents or grandparents, and you would need to know how to correctly install the car seats in the car if you would have the child instead of their actual parents or whoever. About 75% of the car seats in the United States are installed incorrectly just because people don't know the correct way to do it. And it is obviously important to keep the kids safe because that's what the car seat is for, and if it's installed incorrectly, it might not do that. A couple things to know to install it correctly is it must be facing the right way. There are rear-facing and front-facing car seats. The straps and the harnesses must be used correctly, and you have to have the correct type of seat. There are different types of car seats available. I have here that shows all of them. There's the infant car seat that has the handle that you just carry the baby in. And then there's a convertible car seat, or rear-facing and front-facing, which is what I have here. And then from that, you would go to the booster seat, and then after that, just the seat belt. I will pass this paper around to show you all.
Is there a certain weight for
Yes.
just seat belt?
There is. I'll tell you that in a minute. Most of the infant car seats only go up to about 22 pounds. That's what my son's went to. So then after the 22-pound mark, you have to go to the bigger car seat, which is this, but you still have to have them rear facing. The recommendation is rear facing until they're at least 2 years old.
Gee, what
Yeah.
did I say?
There's a movement called extended rear facing that is basically saying you need to keep your kids in rear facing until they are 2 years old. I got that from extendedrearfacing.org. A lot of people just, whenever their child hits one, they turn around and have them front facing, but it's really safer to have them rear facing. It's actually 5 times safer because the seat absorbs the force of the crash, and it, instead of the baby's neck going like this, it just holds it in place if the straps are applied correctly.
So is it actually against the law after a year old to have them facing forward or
It's not against the law. It's just highly recommended to have them rear facing.
Okay.
I have here is a timeline basically of when you should have your child in what. The rear facing goes until at least 2 years old, but it does say ideally much longer. And then forward facing, using the 5-point harness, which is what this is. I'll explain more about the harnesses in a minute. Until they're at least 4 years old and 40 pounds, they need to be in a seat like this. That's forward facing. And then after that, they can go into the booster seat that they sit on use with a regular seat belt, so they're up higher. And until about 10, they need to be in that. And then after 10, they can go to just a regular seat belt. So I'll pass this picture around to you so you all can see.
I'd have to have a booster.
Okay, and I have here some statistics about rear facing and forward facing because it's such a big issue. With the rear facing car seat, there's about a 96% injury reducing effect as opposed to 77% with the forward facing. So they're that much safer in the rear facing. With the forward facing, there's a 40% of risk of severe injuries and an 8% in the rear facing. And if you were in a crash with the forward facing, there would be 300 kilograms of force applied to the child's neck in a forward facing car seat, but only 50 kilograms applied in a rear facing.
That's a lot of difference.
Yes. So it is about 5 times safer for children under 4 to travel in the rear facing. I'll pass that around so you guys can look at it.
Makes me want to have another kid. Right. That's right.
Okay, and while they're rear facing, I'll show you here as I talk about it. The straps have to be at or below their shoulders. So in the hold, it needs to be about like this if they're rear facing. And if they're forward facing, it needs to be at or above the child's shoulders. The rear facing, the harness below the shoulders is really important because if it's above, the child can possibly be shoved up during an accident, and it can injure their neck because it would go forward like this, and that's not good, obviously. For the front facing, when it's at or above the child's shoulders, it's the right way. If it's below and the car is moved up, the head can travel about like this, and it can injure their neck that way as well if it's not applied correctly. And then the next part with this is this harness right here. It needs to be at or above at armpit level, and most people will have it down about like this, and then they can move up even more. If they're here, then it's not. They can't. I have a picture that shows that better here. It's right and wrong. That's really important because that part right there holds the child back. So you want that. And there are different types of harnesses. This part is called the chest clip. But the one I have here is the 5-point harness. It wraps around their legs and between their crotch area. But it's the best. There's also a 3-point harness system. I have a picture of one here because I don't have one that's 3-point.
It's a baby.
It's a baby doll. But that is not as safe. It doesn't hold their legs down as well as the 5-point does. And the 5-point, like I have here, is definitely recommended, and it's proven safer. As I said, you need to keep the child in the car seat with the harness instead of moving them to the seatbelt as long as you possibly can to keep them safer, because that's the point of the harness, is to keep them safe. This car seat, like most, goes up to 65 pounds. So after the 65-pound mark, they would need to be in the booster seat. But up until that point, they should be in the harness seat. There's a couple things to do with protection in the car seat. The car seat, mainly the infant car seat, it can be used, that's the one with the carrier. It is used wrong a lot. People will take their babies and just let them sleep in the car seat, which I am I've done that, so I'm not good at that. But it's really only supposed to be used in the car. You don't want to feed or let your baby sleep in the car seat for much longer than they have to. Another thing, which I'm sure you guys know all about, is don't leave the baby in the hot car. That's a big car seat safety issue. You hear about it all the time where people have left their baby in the hot car and they've overheated. And so the slogan of that is, "Where's baby? Look before you lock." Pass it around. I got a little picture. And that's a big deal because people do leave their children in their cars all the time, and either they just forget about it, or they'll just be in there for a minute and it won't affect them, but it really will. According to the Lactation Learning Station, there are warnings against using the infant car seat on top of a shopping cart because the seat is not strapped onto the shopping cart and they can fall off. And I have here, there are even warnings on the shopping cart seat where the children are placed that say, "Do not use your car seat on top of this."
Gloucester especially has that.
My car seat, I was really mad because it didn't have the things that you could sit there, but then after researching it more, I realized that that's really a good thing because I could not put him up on the seat and have the potential to
fall off. A lot of people do, though.
Yes, they do. I see it all the time.
I do it.
In conclusion, there are a lot of things that you need to do to keep your child safe in a car seat. Having the wrong type of car seat, facing the wrong way, or having the straps and harness used incorrectly can really be harmful to your child if you're in a wreck. So I hope that as parents or grandparents, you have learned a little bit, and maybe you will go research your own for yourself and see what you can find that you think is best for you. And if you aren't a parent or grandparent, but you know someone who is, you can help them learn the correct way to do things as well. If you would happen to have questions about car seat safety, there are a couple websites and places that you can go to make sure that your child or grandchild is in their seat correctly. You can go to seatcheck.org, National Child Passenger Safety Certified Technicians, which the website for that is safekids.org, and they will give you a location you can go to, and they will make sure that your child is in the car seat correctly and that it's installed correctly in your car as well. And then the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is a good place to go to for help with this too. So I think that's about it. I want to thank you all for letting me come in and talk to you today, and I hope you learned something and will take my advice. Thanks.